A young monk walked into the head priest's room, completely defeated. For 3 years he had been fighting the same habit. 3 years of willpower, self-discipline, harsh self-judgment, 3 years of waking up determined and falling each night into the same pattern he had sworn to break. He asked the priest for a stronger method, something powerful enough to finally win. The priest listened, then said one sentence that changed everything. He said, "The reason you keep losing is because you keep fighting. In this monastery, we do not fight our habits at all. We have built an entire self-help industry around the idea that changing a bad habit is a battle. You resist temptation, you fight urges, you attack yourself when you fail, and try harder the next day. And yet, most people remain trapped in the same patterns for years, slowly concluding that something inside them is fundamentally broken." The Japanese monastic tradition saw this problem from a completely different angle. The monks did not become free by becoming stronger fighters. They became free by understanding something about the nature of habits that almost nobody outside the monastery has ever properly learned. Here are the 5 methods. None of them involve fighting. The core understanding. Before the 5 methods, you need to understand what the monks believed a habit actually was. Modern view. A bad habit is an enemy, a flaw, a weakness that must be defeated and removed. Monastic view. A habit is a current, a flow of energy that has found a particular channel to move through. The energy cannot be destroyed. The only thing that can be done is dig a new channel and allow the current to flow somewhere else. When you fight a habit directly, you are trying to dam a river with your bare hands. The river always wins because it has nowhere else to go. The monks did not dam the river. They quietly dug it a new path. Every method that follows is a different way of digging that path. Method 1. The replacement gesture. Every habit has a precise physical trigger, a specific moment when the body begins moving toward the familiar pattern. The hand reaches, the body turns. The motion begins before the conscious mind has caught up. Modern advice says stop at that moment. Use willpower. Resist. The monks understood that asking the body to do nothing at the exact moment it is already moving is nearly impossible, so they gave it somewhere else to go. They trained a small, deliberate alternative gesture to occupy that exact moment instead. When the hand reached, the monk had already trained it to reach toward prayer beads, or toward straightening his robe, or toward one specific small movement chosen in advance. The energy still flows, the moment still arrives, but the channel has been quietly redirected before any fighting becomes necessary. Stanford researcher B.J. Fogg confirmed this exactly. The most effective habit change does not ask the brain to stop a behavior. It gives the brain a replacement that occupies the same neurological slot. The monks discovered this 400 years before neuroscience had a name for it. Your practice. Identify the exact physical moment your bad habit begins. Not the thought, the movement. Then train one specific small gesture to replace that movement until it becomes automatic. Method 2. Breaking the spatial anchor. The monks observed that every habit is deeply attached to a specific place. The habit is not floating freely in the mind. It is anchored to a spot on the floor, a specific chair, a corner of a room, a familiar posture. You have experienced this. You sit in the same spot and feel the same pull. You move to a different room and the urge is noticeably weaker. This is the spatial anchor doing exactly what it was built to do. The monks developed the practice of breaking the spatial anchor rather than breaking the habit. If a certain behavior always arose in a particular place, the monk would deliberately stop occupying that place in that way. He would rearrange the space, change where he sat, alter the physical conditions the habit had been quietly relying on. The modern person tries to change the habit while keeping everything around it identical. Then wonders why the habit returns the moment willpower dips. Because the environment is running the habit, not you. Your practice. Identify exactly where your bad habit occurs most reliably. Then deliberately change that physical environment. Move the furniture, change the chair. Give the habit nothing familiar to anchor itself to. Method 3. Designing the empty hours. The monks noticed that nearly every bad habit lives inside one specific kind of moment. An unstructured gap in the day where the mind is left without direction and begins drifting toward familiar patterns. The habit is not a problem of willpower. It is a problem of empty, undesigned time. Think about when your worst habits occur. Late at night with nothing planned, the hour after work before dinner, the waiting moments, the gaps. The monasteries were built around an almost complete absence of unstructured time. Every hour was given a defined shape, a known activity, a clear form. Not to make monks busy, but because undesigned time is the exact soil in which bad habits grow. The monks never had to resist their habits during dangerous gaps, because they had quietly eliminated the gaps. Your practice. Find the specific unstructured hours where your bad habits consistently appear. Design those hours deliberately with chosen activities that occupy the same time the habit was using. Method 4. Watching the wave. When a strong urge arose, the monks did not suppress it, did not push it away, did not fight it. They turned toward it. They observed the urge with complete calm attention, watched it rise, watched it grow and peak, and then, always, begin to fade. Because an urge is not a permanent command, it is a wave, and every wave that rises also falls. If you can remain still and watching while it passes, fighting an urge feeds it. The struggle keeps attention locked onto it and keeps the energy churning. Calmly observing without acting and without resisting allows the wave to complete its natural cycle and dissolve. Psychologist Alan Marlatt called this urge surfing, now used in clinical addiction treatment. Research shows craving intensity peaks between 15 and 30 minutes, then decreases naturally when not fed by either indulgence or resistance. The monks did not defeat their urges. They learned to sit quietly beside them, like sitting beside a fire, knowing that a fire left alone eventually burns to nothing. Your practice. Next time a strong urge arrives, do not act and do not resist. Simply observe it. Name it quietly. Watch it rise. Watch it fall. The urge was never as permanent as it felt. Method 5. The climate of gentleness. In the modern approach, every failure becomes harsh self-judgment. You slip. You criticize yourself. You feel ashamed. You decide you are weak. The monks understood that self-attack was not a path toward change. It was one of the strongest forces keeping the bad habit alive. When you attack yourself after a slip, you create inner distress. And that distress becomes a new trigger, driving you directly back toward the habit you were trying to escape. The harsh judgment and the bad habit feed each other in a closed loop. The monks broke this loop by treating their own slips with the calm gentleness they would offer a student still learning. When a monk failed, he simply noticed without drama that the current had slipped back into its old channel, and he calmly returned to digging the new one. Dr. Kristen Neff at the University of Texas confirmed this completely. People who practice self-compassion after failure show significantly higher rates of behavior change than people who engage in self-criticism. Your practice. When you slip, and you will, do not add judgment to the slip. Simply notice it. Return to the new channel. Every return strengthens the new path. Conclusion. When you gather all 5 methods together, you see why the head priest told the young monk that fighting was the reason he had been losing. Redirect the gesture. Remove the spatial anchor. Design the empty hours. Watch the urges rise and fall. Treat every slip with gentleness. None of these involve fighting. All involve quiet, intelligent design. You were never meant to defeat yourself. The part of you that carries the bad habit is not an enemy to be crushed. It is a current to be guided. When you stop fighting and start designing, you discover that the exhausting war you have been losing for years was never a war you needed to fight. Put down the fight. Dig the new channel instead. The river was always ready to flow somewhere better. It was only waiting for you to show it where. Let me know in the comments which of these 5 methods you are trying first. Subscribe for more ancient wisdom tested by time and confirmed by science.